Hello, Apba fans and Apba golf fans. This is Tiger Bob going to play some golf with Sam Snead at Metro Memphis today. That's where they're playing the PGA Tour this weekend at Metro Memphis, otherwise known as TPC Southwind. It is a par 70 course using Sam Snead today. This is his 1950 card, which is his all-time great card. His best season, 1949, he was Golfer of the Year. Sam had won 82 PGA Tour events, which ties Tiger Woods. 7 majors. He's won the Master 3 times, the PGA Championship 3 times, the US Open 4 times, and the Open Championship 1 time. I've had this course for 4 years now. This will be actually the 18th time I played it, and the best I've done on this was with 1977 Tommy Watson. Shot a 63 with Tommy Watson back in August of 2021. So enjoy as I follow along as I play some Apba golf at TPC Southwind. Sam Snead, hole number 1 at TPC Southwind. He's at the driver. He's going to aim 5 to the right and hit a 3-wood to try and get it somewhere down in the middle. He rolls a 16-13, hits a 245, went 10-25, and he rolled it just under the tree, not actually in the trees, but behind the tree. So this first one he's kind of under, so he's behind this tree. So he's in the rough. Second shot, he's going to hit a 4-iron, and he's going to try to hit it around the tree, so he has to go twice the distance to the center line. And then he's going to try to work it back. Oh, he's going to try and work it back left to the 20. And on his second shot, he ends up just a little bit off the side of the sand trap. Third shot, 14 was a 16. He was 5 short and left 5, so he was 1 diagonal away. Rolled the dice, 20 minus 7. He was 13 away for a par-saving putt. So just needed a 13-footer. Rolled a 43 for a 23. He missed a 13-footer by 2 foot. And on the first hole, 24-28, Sam Snead sinks the 2-foot birdie. So after 1, going to hole number 2, Sam Snead is 1 over par. Sam Snead going to hole number 2, and he was 1 over par so far. Dog leg to the right, about a 400-yard par 4. First shot, he's going to 3-wood it. Aim 5 to the left. 45 is a 5. He hits a 245. Goes L10. Was a crosswind right, but I had to roll after the shot to find out what the wind did. And I brought it back 15 to the right. Then I rolled 20. 5, 10, 15, 20. Second shot. Pitching wedge. Knocked down because of the swirl, because of the winds. 42 is a 5. Hits at 125. Quite honestly, I hit the wrong club for this one. 10, 110, 125, 1 L5. The wind again brought it back 15 to the right, but being it was a knockdown, it dropped it down to 7.5, and it gets rounded down. So it only came back 5, but then it rolled off the green 5 backwards. So 2 shots, he was just off the green. Now he's a diagonal and a straight away, so it was 35 minus 6, 29 foot away from the fringe. So he's going to use the putter from the fairway, from the fringe. Got to go 1 column to the left. I rolled a 25 for a 24, and he missed a 29-footer by 3 foot. Then a 46-26 rolled into 3-foot par. So after 2 holes here at Metro Memphis, Sam Snead is 1 over par as we head to hole number 3. Sam Snead, hole number 3 at Metro Memphis, to long par 5, 554-yard par 5. Once again, he wants to get in the middle of the green. I dice rolled for the wind, and the wind's going to be L5. So he's going to aim R5, and he's going to hit the 3-wood again. The 3-wood, 21's a 5. Hits a 245. Plus the wind, the hole says an extra 10, so it's going downhill. 255. The shot went L10. And the extra 5, so he went 15 to the left. Rolled 20. 5, 10, 15, 20. So he's at the 275 after his 3-wood off their tee box. Pulled out a 7-iron. He was going to aim for the spot right over here. So he's going to aim 10 to the right. In the TGA rules, that's the rules I play for. It says we can aim on second shots. So that's what I'm going to do. Aim 10 to the right. 45 is a 6. So he hits at 155. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 135, 145, 155. R5, wind takes it back to the left 5, and it rolls 5. So second shot, he is safely over here in the fairway. Third shot, pulled out a pitching wedge. And he's going to aim about 5 yards short of the hole. And being he's not short-sighted, he can actually go at it. Third shot with the pitching wedge. 33 is a 4. So he hits it 135. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. 135. Puts it right on the hole. Same thing. Says R right, but the wind blew it back 5 to the left. He was right on, but it rolled backwards 5. So he was one straight line away. So he was 15 minus a dice roll of 8, 7 foot away for a birdie putt. 12 is a 22. He missed a 7-footer by about 6 inches, and he got the tap in par. So he pars the 3rd hole, and after 3 holes here at Metro Memphis, legendary Sam Snead is still 1 over par as we head to hole number 4. See you there. Here we are, Sam Snead on hole number 4. The 196-yard par 3. Looking down, it's a little bit downhill. Got to add 5 yards to the flight of the tee shots. And on hole number 4, there is no wind. And after much debating and stuff, he decides he's just going to hit a straight up 5-iron. See what happens with no wind. So rolled the dice for the 5-iron. 25 was a 5. Hits at 180 yards. It went an extra 5 because it was downhill. And that was his average. So he gets the bonus. So instead of going 5 left or right, as I said, because it should have been L5, he's going to go L0. So he's right in the middle. And then it rolled 5. So he's 1 diagonal away from hole number 2. Rolled the dice for that. 20 minus 10. 10 foot away for a birdie putt. So once again, Sam Snead is trying to get back to par with a birdie putt. Rolled the dice for the putt, and 64 was a 23. So Sam rolled the 10-footer, 2 foot past the hole. Oh, very frustrating. 21-28, cleaned it up. He rolled into 2-foot par. So he pars hole number 4. That's his 3rd par in a row after hoping to hold a bogey. So after 4, Sam Snead in Metro Memphis is 1 over par as we head to hole number 5. Sam Snead on hole number 5, a par 4, 485 yard, a normal dog leg to the right at the 225 marker. He's going to hit a little bit past the dog leg. He's going to hit a 5-wood. 5 wood should hit it about 240. And he's going to aim 10 to the right. So if it goes through the dog leg like I want, you ought to end up over here somewhere. And on the shot from there, hits it with a 22-3. So he smokes it. 235. So it goes to 225 for the time being. Goes L10. He still has to go for, the shot itself is 235 plus 10, so 245. He's only 225 in, so he has to go another 20 yards. 5, 10, 15, 20, 5, 10. So he did pretty much what he wanted to do. He went through the dog leg. He's a little bit to the left. And the ball only rolled 10 yards. If it would have rolled 15 yards, it would have rolled another 5 yards right, because that's what the tee shots, laying in the fairway behind the dog leg, roll 5 for every 10 yards forward, but only rolled, for every 15 forward, it only rolled 10. So he is 245, middle of the fairway, aiming at the green. So he's 5, 30, 35, 235, 240, 5, 30, 40, 245 away from hole number 2. And he's going to hit the 5 wood again. And believe it or not, the second shot with the 5 wood was a 22-3 again. So a 22-3 with the 5 wood hits it 235. So 5, 105, 205, 15, 25, 235, L10. But this time he rolls it into, just barely rolls it into the sand trap. Almost rolled around it, but it caught the sand trap. I rolled the dice for the sand. The sand came back with 33, and that was a no change for the sand trap. And Sam Snead, he has 1 momentum, 1 bound back. He has no sand points. So at this point in time, he is 10 yards away from the sand. Rolled a 21-6. 21-6. He pops it into the sand, rolls it 2 foot away from the hole. So he still has a chance to save par on this. Rolls a 14-14. And Sam rolls into 2 foot par putt. So that's 4 pars in a row. And after the 5th hole, Sam is 1 over par. So as we go to hole number 6, Slamming Sammy has to get slamming it here. So let's head to hole number 6. Sam Snead, hole number 6 here at Metro Memphis. He's 1 over par. Standing up here on the tee box with the 3 wood. He just wants to hit it safely in the middle here and don't want to mess with the normal dog leg at the 285 very much. So he hits his tee shot, 32, 25, 235, L35. Shanked it way out to the left. 10, 20, 35. And it rolls up into the trees. And he is considered under a tree, being he's about 1.5 in the trees. But he has everything blocking. So on his second shot, he just decides he wants to knock it back in the middle of the fairway. He's going to play it safe. 35, rolled a 41. So it ended up being a 35. It was a +0. So his second shot ended up right in the center, right on the 200-yard dot. So he had to hit it 200 yards to the middle of the green on his 3rd shot. 3rd shot with a 4-iron. Hits a 46-32. So he hits it 200. It went R10, and then it rolled 10. So he was off to green, and he had to chip it in for par on this one. So he has to approach it. 5, 10, 15, 20. Actually, 5, 10, 15. He was 15 away. Rolled the dice. 46 was a 3, and his 3rd shot was 3 foot away from the pin. pulled out his putter, rolled a 15-10, rolled into 3-foot bogey. So after 6, here at Metro Memphis, Sam Snead is 2 over par, as he just has to turn it around on hole number 7 and get his game together. So see you on hole number 7. Hopefully for Sam Snead, things get going better. Hole number 7 here at Metro Memphis with Sam Snead. You ever wake up in the morning, get excited, can I play some Apba? Started the day with playing my 84 Tigers, and yeah, they got swept in a 3-game series in Oakland. So then I thought I'd grab legendary Sam Snead, and then you bring him down to his knees too. So not a very good day for playing Apba, but hole number 7, you never know what might happen as he goes there 2 over par. Grabs the driver, and on the bright side, he's coming off a bogey, so he uses a bounce back. Bounce back number's a 4, hits a 265, R10, and rolls 25, 10, 25. And there he is, nicely in the fairway. Finally hit the fairway because he could actually use a bounce back. Second shot, he hits a 5-iron. Hits the 5-iron. 175. 10, 110, 160, 175, R25, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and it rolls 5. And he's into deep rough. So he's aiming for hole number 2. So not only is he in a deep rough, he is actually short-sighted. So he decides he's going to aim. He's going to aim like right here. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So he was going to go aimable right there. So he hits the ball, and he gets a 35 L5. So he goes 5 past and 5 to the left. So now he's 40 away, 2 diagonals away on the green. Rolls the dice, rolls a 7. And now he's sitting 33 feet away from the hole for a par putt. And now, I don't know if Sam Snead's feeling desperate or his caddy's feeling desperate, but he decides to go for it from 33 foot. Rolls a 32, rolls a 16-12. And going for it, his 33 foot was a 7-foot miss. But if he would have played it safe, he would have been 3 foot off. But he went for it. He was 7 foot away. 7 foot for bogey. 32-20. And he rolls into 7-foot bogey putt. And he actually felt pretty good leaving hole number 7 after another bogey. So now he is 3 over par as we head to hole number 8. Par number 3, or hole number 8. It's a par 372 yard. Sam Snead standing on the tee box, pulls out a 7-iron. It's downhill. The ball's going to carry an extra 5 yards. It's going to roll an extra. It's going to go an extra 5 because it is downhill. So he stands up there. He's hoping to hit a good one here, and he hits a snake eyes for a 4. So he hits a 165, 35, 45, 55, 65. Gets the extra 5 downhill, 170. It goes R5. And it does not roll. So he's 1 diagonal away from the number 2 hole. So we got a 20. Rolled a 6. 14-footer away for a birdie. Walks up and he decides he's going to go for it. If he's going from 33 foot, why not 14? From 14 foot, rolls a 33 for a 5. So finally, Sam Snead on hole number 8 rolls in a 14-foot birdie putt. Gets him back to 2 over as we go to hole number 9. Maybe Sammy Snead is starting to turn it around here down in Memphis. Sam Snead, hole number 9 here at Metro Memphis. He's coming off a birdie on number 8 and starting to feel a little bit optimistic. Maybe he can turn his round to get back to maybe under par for the round. He was hoping he could use his momentum he's been saving for this hole. But rolled the dice, and the dice was coming 5 to the right. And with the momentum, you can't go left or right with the momentum, so he decided he's just going to grab a driver, aim 5 to the left. First time he's pulling a driver out of the bag today, and let her rip. And let her rip he did. 52 was a 23, and this is downhill, so the ball's going to go an extra 10 yards. So he hit it 270 yards. And like I said, he was aiming 5 to the left. And then it went another 45 to the left. 10, 20, 30, 45. And it rolled up into the trees. And he was stymied in the trees. And he decided what he was just going to do, hit it back to the center line. 10, 20, so 10, 20, 30. Was aiming for 35, and then it being a +5. His second shot was right in the middle of the fairway. Third shot, pulled out the 5-iron. 5-iron, should be able to get a pretty decent shot, he was thinking, but he rolled a 53-8. Hit it 165 yards. There's 20, 120, 145, 150, 155, 165. 5 to the right, and the wind took it another 5 to the right, so he was safely on the green. And then it rolled 10. So he was 2 diagonals 40, so he's 55. Minus 4, dice roll of 4, he was 51 foot away for a birdie putt. Played it safe. 25 was a 24, he missed a 51 footer by 5 foot. Then 65-18, he rolled into 5-foot bogey putt. So he ended the front 9 at 3 over par. He had 3 greens in regulations, hit the fairway 3 times. He had 13 putts for 39 feet. And he is a +3 as he gets ready to go to the back 9. So see you in a little bit at the back 9. Sam Snead, hole number 10. Going to try and have a much better second 9 than he did the first 9. Rolled the dice. There was no wind on this one here. Little narrow fairway. He's going to pull it as 3-wood. And just try to get it down in the fairway. I rolled the dice. 31 was a 4. Hit it 250. And plus it's going an extra 10 for 260. So nice shot of 260. Went R5. 5, 10, 15, 20. So he hit a nice shot right there. He was in the fairway, and he was 195 away from number 2. Second shot, 56 was a 14. So he hits a 185. He was 10 yards of the target. He went L20, 5, 10, 15, 20, and rolled 5. So he was in the rough. 20 yards away from his target. 21 was a 6. He puts it on the green, 5 foot away from the hole, and 61-13 rolls in the 5-foot par. So maybe you can get a little roll going here as we go to hole number 11. Sam Snead is sitting at 3 over par. Sam Snead, hole number 11, 162 yard, par 3. Over the water and onto the green. A little bit downhill. 10 yards. Going to add 10 to the shot. Standing on the tee box with an 8-iron. Hits a 45-6. So he hits it 145 yards. 135, 145, but then it carries the extra 10, 155. R5, no roll. 3 straights away, 45 minus 8, 37 foot away for a birdie putt. He's just going to play it safe with the birdie putt. 16 was a 25, 37 foot birdie putt was missed by 3 foot. 32, 20, 3 foot par. So as we head to hole number 12, Sam Snead still sitting at 3 over par, off to hole number 12. Hole number 12 for Sam here. We got a dog leg to the right over the water. Standing at the green, in the 3-wood, can aim 5 to the left. 33's a 3. It's a 255 plus an extra 5 because it's downhill. It's a 260. L10. And it's going to roll 25. 5, 10. So it still needs another 15 after the dog leg, and it's a severe dog leg. Well, I'm just going to go straight this little bit for the first 5, and that leaves 10 left. 5 and 10. So he's in the rough, just short of the sand trap. Roll the dice, roll the 41, but he has a scrambler 1, so it was a 36. So he's hitting from the normal rough. Second shot, 8-iron, 15-4. It's at 150. 5, 10, 110, 120, 130, 140, 150. L10. And it rolled 5 into the sand trap. I realized at that point in time I grabbed too much club for him, and then he hit it pretty hard. So he's in the sand. Rolled the dice for the sand. Rolled a 26. So it's just a normal sand trap shot. Approach 15 from the sand. 63 was an 11. A brutal approach shot from the sand. He ended up on the green, but he was still 9 foot away for par. 64, 23, 9-footer from par. Missed a par putt by 1 foot. Walked up there, and 56 was a 27. He rolled in a 1 foot bogey putt. So another bogey. And after 12 holes, Sam Snead sitting at 4 over par as we head to hole number 13. Hole number 13 for Sam Snead, coming off another bogey, standing at the tee. Going to aim 10 to the left, 3-wood, and try and get it down in the middle of the fairway. Roll the dice. 56-16. Hits at 230. Goes right 20. 5-10. He rolls it into the fairway bunker. Fairway bunker. He has a choice from the fairway bunker. He can hit a safely with the 7-iron or aggressively with the 5-wood. So he's going aggressively with the 5-wood. Roll the dice. 64 is a 5. So hits it 220. So minus 5, 215. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. 225. There's your 215. It was 220, but the 215 is the second shot is a minus 5 on all tee shots. But then it ends up going a minus 10 as I rolled the dice for the poor lie. He loses 10, and then he goes left 15, 5, 10, 15. So he was in the sand. So he went from the tee box to the sand to the sand. And here he was, 15 away from the sand. From 15 away, 23 was a 6. He ended up 4 foot away. So he still had a chance, 4-footer away for a par putt. Going sand, sand on the green, 4 foot away. 34 was a 29. 4 foot comes up a B. So 4 foot missed by 6 inches. And he taps it in for another bogey. Sam Snead, the legendary Sam Snead, after 13 holes, is 5 over par as we go to hole number 14. Here we are at hole number 14, Metro Memphis. Sam Snead, struggling away today, standing on the tee box with a 2-iron. Being the par 3, he cannot aim, and it is downhill 15 yards. So he is just going to pull out a 2-iron, and he's going to work the ball 20 to the left. He is a B working the ball. Dice roll, 35 was a 4. He hits a 215. But as I said, it's going to go another 15. 5, 10, 15. Got to go left or right. He's right on the center line. I'll work the ball. He ends up 20. 5, 10, 15, 20. Now he still has to roll another 20. So he rolls 5, 10. But now that he's in the rough, he's only got another 5. There he is. Right now he's 25 away from the number 2, but he's going to aim in the middle because he doesn't want to end up, some disaster over here. 52 was a 5, so it's a -5. LR5. You end up 15 away. 15 minus 7, 8 foot away. Needed an 8-foot shot for par. 64 was a 23. 8-footer was missed by 1 foot. Then he rolled into 1-foot bogey putt. So 3 bogeys in a row on the back 9. He is 6 over as we go to hole number 15. 4 holes left to try and get a couple birdies and make something out of this. How's that for some optimism? Here we are, hole number 15, par 4, little dog leg to the left. Snead just wants to hit it down the middle and try to go maybe past the dog leg, hit a driver, and hit it out here somewhere. Should be a nice, easy shot. Looking back at this course here, this is the 18th time I played this course. Played it 17 times before. And I'm averaging a 1 over par 71 on this par 70 course. Had a really good score a few years ago at Tom Watson at 63. So makes this really more frustrating with all-time great Sam Snead sitting at 6 over as we go to number 15. And I'm almost done whining. Okay, pulling out the driver. Gonna hit it down the middle, no problem. It is a headwind, but I don't roll anything for the wind till after I hit the shot. Shot is a 65.5, and plus it's an extra 10 down the hill, so it'll be 270. So you got to stop it at 250. L15, 5, 10, 15, and roll for the wind. The wind takes another 10 to the left. It was still supposed to go, the drive was supposed to go 270 in the air, but the headwind knocked it down 15, so it's only going 255, so it was another 5. And it was supposed to have a roll of 25, but he's only going to have a roll of 15 because of he's over in a deep rough. So here's the first 10, 5, 10, 15. And there he is, right next to the trees, taking a look to see if he has a shot. And he actually has clearance, and he has a straight shot to the front of the green with clearance because he's 40 yards away and he needs clearance of 35. And he's going to pull up the gap wedge, going to hit it over the tree, and going to put it on the green. And it's going to be a beautiful shot. So he hits the gap wedge. He hits it 100 yards, and it goes left. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 50, 100. Goes left. And then it rolls 5. Roll the dice for the headwind. And there was no headwind. And I did roll the dice before the shot, and the rough shot, there was no adjustments to the rough shot either. So he's actually on the green, 15, rolled 2 dice, rolled an 11, and there he is sitting a beautiful 4 foot away to finally get a birdie. Maybe uses a momentum on the next shot. Dice roll, 56 was a 27, 4 foot, came up with a piece, so he missed it by, I don't know, 6 inches. Ended up rolling in maybe a 1 foot par putt. So he ends up with a par on number 15. As we go to number 16, Sam Snead is sitting at 6 over par. See you on hole number 16. Sam Snead, hole number 16. He comes in here at 6 over par. Standing up in the tee box. He right 10, and he's going to hit a driver and just try to get it down here a little ways to make something happen here. Tailwind is going to push it an extra 5. So tee shot 36 is a 14. It's a 255. We got to deduct 10 shots from the tee shots, so it's downhill. So it goes 245. Goes right 30. 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Extra tailwind, so. And he rolls into the trees. He shakes the dice for the trees. He can go aggressive or he can go safe, and he decides he is going to go aggressive through the trees. Pulls out the 7-iron. That's the biggest club he can do when stymied by the trees. Gives it a rip. 33 is a 4. 160 L10 5. But then I rolled the dice to see what happened, and he loses 50% of his distance. So he's going to go 80. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 50, 60, 70, 80. Press the extra 5 for the tailwind. So 85. L10. And he rolls 5. Third shot, he pulls out the 4-iron. 4-iron. And he hits a 64.5, so he hits a 195. Tailwind's going to push it up 5, but being uphill is to be down 5, so it's going to go 195. So there's my 10, 110, 160, 170, 180, 195. R5, 510. Right on the edge of the green. And he is 20, 40, 55, minus 2. Rolled a snake eye, so he's 53 foot away for a birdie attempt. Playing it safe. 53-footer. He missed it by 5 foot. So now he's 5 foot away for par. And he's missed so many short putts, he can obviously hit a short putt here, right? Nope, 56 is a 27, and now he misses the 5-footer by about 6 inches. So on hole number 16, it is another bogey hole for Sam Snead, as we are grinding off to hole number 17. Sam Snead, hole number 17, standing at the tee box. Going to hit a 3-wood. Going to aim 5 to the left. And just try to get it somewhere down there in the fairway. And the ball that, I got to add 15 to the tee shots. So downhill shot. 65 was a 5. So we did 245 plus the extra 15, so he's up to 260. Another L10. Rolls 20, 5, 10, 15, 20. Second shot. Hits a 2-iron. 2-iron. 44.3, so it's a 220. 20. 120. 220. L5. He's on the green. It rolls 15. 5, 10, 15. Ends up off the back of the green after the second shot. Third shot from the rough, 10 yards away from the rough. 24 was a 5. He puts it on the green, 6 foot away from the hole. And then a 61, 13. He actually rolls in a 6-foot putt finally. Goes for par. So he rolls into 6-foot par. So we're going to the final hole at 7 over par for Sam Snead. Final hole, hole number 18. Dog leg to the left, a bunch of blue water. He's 5 right. Give him extra room and just hit it down the middle of the fairway. That's the plan here. So he hits the 3-wood. 16 was a 13, hit a 245 and goes an extra 5 because it's downhill. He goes 250, goes right 25, left 25. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. He's in the water. He comes back out here for a penalty, and now he's hitting his third shot. Third shot, gonna hit a 3-iron. 21's a 5. It's a 200 uphill, so it goes 195. There's 10, 210, 200, 195. L5, and it rolls 10 on the green. So he was 1 straight away, 15 minus 9, 6 foot away. So even going in the water, he still had a 6-foot opportunity to save par. 54 was a 34, and he missed a 6-foot putt by 3 foot, which is just fitting for the kind of round it's been. Then he rolls into 3-foot bogey putt. So rolling another bogey, and he ended up at 8 over. 8 over for the day. So I'll be back in a minute with the unhappy recap. So final recap here from Sam Snead golfing at Memphis Metro, which is TPC Southwind, where the beginning of the playoffs for the golf is going to be this weekend. This was a brutal round by Sam Snead. He ended up with 9 bogeys and 1 birdie, shot a 78. He put 4 drives in the fairway. Greens in regulation was 4, 28 putts for a total of 61 feet. On the front, he had a 38. The back, he had a 40 for a final of 78, which when I started the day, I thought, wow, Sam Snead, maybe he can set the course record for what I've done so far, which was a 63 by Tom Watson. But instead, he tied 2019 Matt Wolff at 8 over for the highest round yet at Metro Memphis. So that is here from Bay City, Michigan. If you watched this to the end, hope you enjoyed it a lot more than I did playing it. And as always, keep playing Apba. Thank you.